Honest J. Nowak. Oh yeah. A pleasure to meet all at last, and welcome back to Honest J. Nowak and Flying with Foam. Now, flying with the foam is certainly going to be quite a long journey. And this is in fact just 4 out of 87. But I'm more than certain that with 87 different blasters to talk about, along with a bunch of newcomers here, I mean, this is going to be quite a journey for me. But here comes number 4 of 87. And I tell you, this one takes in a pretty good concept and actually does a pretty decent job at it. I don't know, I'm just kind of certain about this because after all, there are certainly a few things I see lacking about this. This is the Elite/Mega Dual Strike. And the reason why that is, well, just look at it. 3 barrels are loaded with Elite darts, or just regular darts as a whole, and 3 barrels are loaded with Mega darts. That's 6 barrels total in like 2 different variations of, well, barrel design. There's this one on the top, which is sort of like a shotgun with 3 holes arranged in a triangular shape. But then you have another triple barrel design that's just them stacked on top of each other. And of course, both variations have actually taken place outside of just this particular blaster itself. So I will say firsthand that the Dual Strike itself, I mean, it does take in a pretty good concept. Put in 2 different kinds of darts and then fire. I just wonder if we're ever going to have a blaster someday that combines a lot of different types of ammo at the same time. We probably will get ourselves maybe a Penta Strike or something like that. Something that could shoot like 5 different ammo. So Elite darts, or just regular darts pretty much, Mega darts, Ultra darts, HIR rounds, and probably even those bolts. After all, I talked about the Wrath Bolt yesterday and the fact that the concept of bringing back arrows into Nerf's lineup of blasters itself was a pretty good concept at the time, but it turned out to be kind of a flop. But in this instance, I feel like that the Dual Strike is really going to heighten our ability to pretty much put out new concepts here and there. But this is pretty much just a start. And of course, I feel like that the way that this thing operates, it does a good job at it, but I'm just not really certain if Hasbro itself actually would want to keep going with this and try to make something new based on this particular concept itself. So how do you use this blaster is just pulling back on the priming rod, right? Well, there's a switch right here on the right side that can allow you to switch between the Elite darts and the Mega darts. So let's just go with the Elite darts first. And then let's go for Mega darts. And that's the Dual Strike for you. So I gotta say that, well, 2 different types of barrels, 2 different types of ammo, 2 different types of functions that you could possibly deliver all into one blaster. This is pretty much your sort of pick-me-up in case you'd like to have that kind of action take place. But for me, really, I have not necessarily become that accustomed to having a blaster that apparently can do more than just one specific function and deliver one kind of performance, whereas this one here is just 2 different types. I'm just not really sure about this blaster. I did give it a pretty good rating on Nerf Secret Revealed After Saw It, but it was only because of the fact that, well, the first time I heard about this thing, I was just shocked. Like, how could they put 2 things together like this? I suppose that it probably has something to do with the lever here that controls this here. This switch basically just, it probably alternates a trap door somehow, just so airflow can go into the tubing itself and the chamber. Like if I pulled this back and had it set to Elite, then well, the ramp inside probably just allows the air to be channeled into this set of barrels. Whereas if I were to switch to Mega, then the trapdoor would go down, and that way it would block the air from coming through here instead, and just allow it to be channeled through here. I mean, it sounds different too. No wonder, because there's different air restrictors in there, and also because of the girth of the barrels themselves, they probably make the air sound a little different each time. Well, there really isn't too much else left to say, man. The color scheme itself, on mine in particular, is sort of bland. I mean, the orange that's kind of on the priming handle is fading a little bit, and even the trigger looks pretty well faded. The switch is also kind of like that, and even the notch here on the tactical rail is kind of like that too. I mean, it's kind of like this weird sort of peaches and cream sort of color, kind of like an orange sherbet. It's like a really light sort of peach color. Almost kind of looks like flesh. As in regular types of flesh. Not really as pale as most parts of me, or as tan, pretty much. So in a way, I will say that the Dual Strike, it seems to accomplish quite a few things in occurrence of the concept of having two different types of ammo being put together, but my open-minded honesty is basically letting me know right away that the Dual Strike probably didn't deserve such a huge score for it. And for that, I might have to refer back to that episode in Nerf Secret Revealed Aftersought and now give it a score of 2 points lower. So that's pretty much what that is. The Dual Strike itself, I feel like was a great concept in the same way as the Wrath Bolt was one of those bolt blasters out there that pretty much tried to bring back the arrows into production when it comes to bows or crossbows or anything of the sort, but they didn't really do so well because of some complaints, because of some functioning errors, and because of some confusion. The Dual Strike, however, I feel like is a different paradigm shift that probably is something different in and of itself. That's not to say that I dislike it. I mean, it's a good concept for what it is. But I just don't really get it at this point. I'm still quite confused about it. I'm still not so conclusive about it right now. But that's pretty much all I got to talk about for the Dual Strike today. There is a lot more that I have to talk about based on everything I've already got through and everything that's going to be coming through in the next 83 days. So if you want to see more go down on my channel, then make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.